Hello, 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 everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to season 13 of F1. We are back with a brand new season on the F1 25 game. And of course, to begin things, we are off here at Melbourne. And of course, none of this would be possible without race sims. Naturally, this is not a solo job. A lot of work has been put into this by the coordinators, of course, to bring about the 13th season of this game that we've been running ever since day one of the commencement of the Indian racing community. Of course, joining me today is our ever loving Deepak Raj, who will be the streamer for us. And of course, our proper OG Shah Leclerc or Madhav, whatever you want to call him, who will be my co commentator. So, Madhav, how excited are you for this new season?
Yeah, man, there's a lot of new faces here to see, a lot of people, new people on the grid. So be exciting to see how they compare against, the people, what do you say? People who have established themselves within IRC. So really looking forward to see all that. Deepak?
Certainly.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think with that, I think it's time to move on to the most important announcement we have for the season, which is prize pool announcement. So simply, why don't you just talk us through this?
sure. So, on the left side of your screen, we have the season 13 calendar, 10 races, nice and long. Of course, we have a break week in the middle. Of course, we're not going to grind our drivers just as this new year begins. Finale will be in Abu Dhabi on the 28th of March. Don't even worry about that. Main thing, prize pool. The person who will be winning this season will, of course, be taking away almost 2,500 rupees. And if that person picked this game up on a discount, he's essentially recovered everything barring 50 rupees of the game's cost. So essentially, you get to win this championship. Not only do you get to be in the Hall of Fame, of course, you also get a good amount of money with it. Of course, we will not be leaving any of the other people. Second place, third place, fourth place, and fifth place. All of them are getting different amounts. And I would like to say that these are pretty fair amounts. And of course, there is a lucky draw that anyone is eligible for. Of course, the eligibility is on your screen. And of course, all of the drivers already know this. If you do so wish to know about all of this, you can pause uh, and read all of that, or you can take a screenshot. Of course, less you must not forget, you should be joining the Indian racing community. Link is in the description. Obviously, you'll have to join through our website. That is a given, pretty much. And I do believe our drivers are getting ready here very shortly, and so we're almost ready to go and almost ready to begin this new season.
Yep, the lobby is almost set, and we will be going live to the track in a few seconds. Yeah, here we are.
Yep, and Madhav, as you were saying earlier, a lot of new drivers certainly, and we have seen this sort of a trend in the last couple of years where we have seen a new set of drivers come in, and it's a very mixed set between the experienced drivers we have in the names of Dark Knight, in the names of Aradhya Gupta, Moto. At this point, you can even consider someone like Sandeep Maridu, King James, and of course, how can we forget Kapil Ace, our very own Kapil Ace, Faizan as well, and of course Pri, all really good drivers who've proved themselves season after season. And then we have completely new drivers, almost half of the grid, or I believe half of the grid is filled with new drivers, and so clearly a lot to prove. So what challenges does a new driver face when going up against such experienced set, in your opinion, Madhav?
Yeah, most of these guys, they seem to be new. Like if you look at the grid right now, barring, say, Sauber, at the other teams, they all have one new driver. So maybe probably they can learn a lot from their teammate. They work with them, work their strategy, and also they might be new here, but they could have been racing on this game for quite a while. So you never know. They might be really fast guys among us. They might be newcomers, they can prove themselves. Or it's exciting to see. Will our new drivers, will our established drivers, the ones that we've been seeing for so long, will they be challenged by them? It's a new challenge for them, completely new challenge for them.
Absolutely, it is a challenge, and if you don't mind, I will quickly go over the grid that we have for this season. Obviously, barring this is the first race, changes may occur later on depending upon the availability of some drivers. But the Mercedes pairing, of course, we have Aradhya Gupta and Vaibhav. Vaibhav, I believe, is a new driver, so already starting off with a new set of people. Ferrari is a completely new lineup with Sleazy and Zeus. Red Bull, we have Pri and Corvette GTE Enjoyer, sure. Alpine, we have King James and Zinx, so once again, another pairing with an experienced driver and a new face. VCAB or Racing Bulls or whatever you want to call them at this point. We have Mohan MR9 and Ritesh Seb. Once again, an experienced set of Lord. Kickstarter, we have Vicious and ABD. That is a very interesting pairing because they have had plenty of exchange of words between each other when they weren't teammates. I wonder how things are gonna unfold in this season for sure, as we have the first car out on track, which is conveniently a McLaren with Natsu and Kingmaker, a completely new lineup that will be taking part and representing McLaren in this new season. Williams, we have FIFA, Kanak and EP. Two very, very experienced drivers, both of them really quick as well, especially Kanak. If he does put in the hard work, if he does put in some amount of time, he for sure will be up there. No doubt about that. For the Haas pair, we have Trophy is what I'm going to call him, and Fivezan. That can be a very Mazepin sort of a lineup, to say the least. Aston Martin, finally, we have Dark Knight and Fury, two drivers who have taken a mick out of each other day in and day out for multiple seasons. But of course, now they're teammates, and so they will have to work together. And so that will be very interesting to see as to what the two of them do together and where they can put themselves in this field, considering that both of them have proven to be really good teammates to their teammates when it has mattered in the previous seasons. And so when two Valtteri Bottases combine, I wonder how this will go.
Yeah, it's like the Cadillac lineup for the next year. I mean, this year actually. It is 2026 already. But yeah, is there anybody on a lap right now? I think one of the Red Bull and a McLaren is on a lap.
A B-Dude Origin in the Red Bull appears to be on a lap. We're also looking at Sleazy in the Ferrari. Of course, with that HP branding all over it, not the best delivery that we've seen.
And we have our first retirement of the season.
And he has gone straight exactly where you did a wall ride, if you remember.
Yep. I was forced onto the wall. I don't know how I survived that.
Yeah, if you do want to check that clip out, by the way, it is posted as a YouTube short on our YouTube channel, so make sure, of course, you subscribe since you are watching right now anyways. And of course, you go check that short out. It is one of the most iconic moments of IRC, to say the least.
Is there a McLaren stopped at just before turn 40?
That is Natsu in the McLaren, who's taking a warm-up lap, I believe.
Okay, but he was completely still. That's not how you give way to the faster guys.
Hey man, McLaren has its techniques. Anyways, we have Sleazy, who's rounding up his lap to set the first time on the board in this season with a 1:16.784. Already a very good lap time on the board. Of course, we next have ABD28, who will be going across the line. Natsu setting a 41 and he sets a 17.7, so clearly it's time to turn those assists off. ABD, it's not helping you. Sleazy has put a very good benchmark up though.
Yeah, 16. I don't know what the lap times are on this track because I'm not familiar with this layout because the last time I drove here it was the old layout and some of the corners have been deleted as Faizan goes P1 with the 16.78, which is 4 thousandths of a difference between P2. So it's looking really close at the top already.
Yep.
As I was saying, I believe the old layout, the time was around 1:23, 24, something like that. So this new one seems to be quite a bit faster. And we have retirement number 2, which is Sandeep. Oh, he might have done that on purpose, And there we go, 3. Disqualified from a session. Who was that? Zinx.
So Zinx has been
Okay,
disqualified. Aradia has to see the 5-place grid penalty for collision with ABD. So clearly a lot had happened in that section. I can see like a cluster of cars coming through the final few corners. So yeah, definitely not a clean session for Aradia. Looks like it just has to cut through and come back into the pits.
Yeah, we're barely 10 minutes into the season and the chaos has begun. We see an Alpine spun out in sector 3. Okay, no, he's recovered.
Looks like Natsu has no plans on improving his lap time just yet. Kingmaker has different plans though. Goes faster, 700, still a 130 lap time on the board. And yeah, that's an invalidated lap for him.
Can we go on board Dark Knight if he's on a lap? Yeah, he is on a lap. He's just coming past sector 2.
Doesn't seem to be. Oh yeah, he has an invalidated lap.
Okay,
That's why he's not using his battery. Yeah, I was about to say he has a lot of battery for someone who's about to round off the second sector. But his teammate Fury is doing what exactly? He's starting a lap by the looks of it. Yup, going through turn 1, taking a bit of the apex. Yep, that paint is very slippery. It will drag you along with it if you're not very careful about it, if you don't get off of it really quickly. And he seems to be taking a very chill lap as well. I guess these guys are just practicing with 11 minutes to go in the qualifying.
Let's just stay on board him. Let's see how he does this lap. Coming into turn 8. It's almost flat this corner now, right?
Yeah. Here in the flat, King James with the 16.2. Now we're starting to see the representative times. I was gonna say earlier that we should be expecting a low 16 for the pole, and King James has already set the bar at 16.25, and so clearly now a lot of drivers have a lot to work for. And Faizan, now the all eyes are looking essentially at you, mate. You need to pick it up. And of course, Nitro, a driver who's returning after a very long time. He was busy with obviously his personal life, and he has finally returned in the Ferrari. And he is currently sat provisionally P9 with a 119.048. And so clearly just trying to get the rust off, improving by 100th in the first sector. Not much. He doesn't have much battery to be doing the second sector. I think he will be losing time in the second sector, but so far so good for him. At least no invalidations on the board. Still trying to give it his all. Maybe he did make a mistake somewhere and that's why he's lost all the time. Setting a very, very good representative time for himself, and so far looks like it. Coming into the third sector, then heartbreaking. Down to third, hits the apex, right off onto the curb, back on throttle. Have to manage the throttle through this corner. Did not get the ideal line through there, no worries. Locks up just a bit, misses the apex, and he has fairly decided to abandon the lap.
We see we're on board Natsu now, going towards the fast left-right chicane. There's 2 cars ahead of him playing some games there. Hopefully he doesn't get impeded. Yeah, he makes it through the chicane. Oh, and he gets a huge oversteer and puts it into the wall. I think he might have a bit of wing damage from there, so he might have to abandon the lap.
Certainly, I think it's best to write that lap off. Fury, yeah, he's just doing practice. At this very moment, he's not taking any lap seriously. Kingmaker, 2/10 up on his lap time. Needs a lot more to get into the top 10. I doubt he'll be able to find all that in the final sector, unless, of course, he's made a mistake somewhere, and he might end up recovering all that time. Currently, he's at P12 behind a retired Kapil Ace. That is interesting, and that is your mistake that you don't want to have, especially in the final sector. It's very easy to be carried away in that final corner, provisional corner, and yeah, he has just not, got the ideal line, could not manage the throttle well, didn't get the turn in right at all, and so he has gone off to the gravel. Luckily for him, 7.5 minutes still remain on the board. Has maybe two more proper solid runs left. But of course, we mustn't forget, what about the tires? Because of course, everyone's running softs, that's not a question. But one should not forget that you have a very limited set of softs that are available to you in qualifying before you start eating into your race allocation. And of course, if you do need them in the race and you have used them in qualifying, you will not be in a very good situation at all. If we
Can
would
we
consider
go
a
on board Aradhya? I think he's about to start a lap.
He's just started a lap. Apex crossed the line 18.1, provisionally P10 ahead of Nitro, and currently behind Natsu. There has been some improvement over there. ABD is up into P6. He's crossed Ritesh, Seb just there. Radhya, who has not set a lap time just because we did see him making that mistake earlier, is
this is the lap to watch. He is on the ragged edge of grip now, throwing the car into every corner, and he is invalidated.
I mean, with grass on those tires, you can't expect much more.
This pit lane entry seems very sketchy, man, with the barrier on the right side.
Oh, Ritesh said. Okay,
the lap times are coming down. It's the top 5 separated by less than a second, actually. The crazy gap.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you'd expect someone like Dark Knight and ABD to be there fighting it out with, Ritesh and Faizan, because just going based off of complete statistics here, they have been ahead of those two drivers in the standings consistently season after season, and right now starting a brand new season behind them, at least for now. Maybe they can improve in the final runs, who knows. Has not been a good show for them.
Am I seeing that correctly? Vicious going for a lap on a completely empty battery?
You do not question what the Kickstarter does, man. Just allow it. Sleazy back into the pits, almost very close to the wall, very, very close to the wall there. Just about manages to keep it out. And yeah, Madhav, as you were saying, that pit entry is very sketchy. They have made it extremely narrow, and so it is very easy to just, go ahead and donate a wing or even your front left tire to that barrier that's just present over there. Natsu, purple first sector according to the game, up by 3.5 tenths just in the first sector. He will need to put in some really, really good second and third sectors to have a good chance at that pole. Pedal to the metal here then, coming across the line, still up by 3.5 tenths in the second sector, entering the third sector. Now a good chicane for him with the DRS turned on, trying to use every inch of the track. Hard braking down to third. No, stays. Yes, goes up to third. Takes that mistake. Takes that inside curb. And that is all that you need to ruin your lap. And those are the fine margins that these guys are dealing with. No room for errors at all.
Played a bit too much dirt rally, I guess. But we have a bit of racing. It looks like Kingmaker and who is the Ferrari? I think it's Nitro. Yeah, it's Nitro. They're both on a lap. Nitro has not left a gap to the car ahead, and he's trying to get in the DRS. I mean, get the tow from the McLaren up front, which will be helpful. But not in these high-speed corners where you need the downforce. He's trying to get out of the slipstream to stay out of the dirty air, but it's not helping that much. Right now he's getting a pretty good tour down here to the chicane, and it looks like he has kept a bit of a gap to him, so he shouldn't be affected that much. Okay, yeah. Have they both invalidated?
No, it is just Nitro who's invalidated,
Okay.
but he's continuing on with his lap. Kingmaker, of course, has not invalidated. Still on the throttle, still trying to get a somewhat of a lap and try to perhaps nudge into that top 13 spot. Kapil is obviously having retired after doing just one lap, has not put himself in a very good spot. Vaibhav Khanna, a new face to look at, has moved up into P2 as Kingmaker moves up, but improving by 2 seconds up into P11. So clearly has, he will have to be on the edge, might maybe cut a corner or two here or there, and only then will he have time maybe to go for one final run, or that might be it for him, which could be crucial here. Vaibhav Khanna then, as I was saying, a new face to look at up in P2 provisionally, might improve and give King James a proper tough fight for that P1 spot. For now, Pri, who is expected by a lot of people, you can say a fan favorite rather, to win this season, comes across the line P4 right off the bat and about 5/10 off of King James. And so where is that half a second? And this is a controller track, we mustn't forget. So clearly either Pri is on a wheel or he has, as he said himself, fallen off.
Are there tracks which are like more suited to wheel than controller, or is it like equal?
Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi,
Those are all controller tracks, is it?
those are all wheel tracks.
Oh
yeah.
my god, that is a huge amount of oversteer into the chicane. He's practically drifted it through the left part of the chicane.
Yeah, right.
he has backed up.
Validated. Okay, then Kingmaker in the McLaren once again starting a brand new lap. This will be his final run, and he's already invalidated it. He invalidated it before he even got to the apex of turn 1, which is very surprising to me. That is the first for me. Someone invalidating it in the braking zone. So that is that apex in the Haas starting a brand new lap, and these will be the final runs. Ritesh in contention for the pole in the VCAV or the Minardi or the AlphaTauri, whatever you want to call it at this point. Racing Bulls taking turn 1 with a little bit of the edge. Personally, I wouldn't say that was the best turn 1 that he could have taken, but of course doesn't mean you cannot improve. You have multiple corners, especially in this track, and he goes off wide, does not invalidate. Somehow that corner is notorious in the last 2 games for invalidating down by a 10th and a half, not what he wants. Clearly those last minute pressure mistakes are creeping in for Ritesh. Pri, on the other hand, of course, also starting lap just a few corners behind Ritesh himself. This will also be his final run in the Red Bull, up by almost 2/10. Just in the first sector, needs way more than that to be giving King James a proper fight for that pole position. Otherwise, I think King James will be in a very, very comfortable position right now, with the DRS turned on, with that Red Bull Honda engine lowering, and now through the chicane he was up by a few tenths. Timer has struck 0. Qualifying is over. Checkered flags out. Vaibhav Khanna cannot improve. Stays in P2. We will see where he ends up after this final set of runs. Apex is done in P12. Nitro is done in P14. Vicious is done in P15. Those positions are set in stone. Dark Knight up into P2. Misses out by 10. Sleazy beats him just by 200ths of a second. Pri now coming across the line. Where will he be? Can he take pole away from King James? No! Everyone is just a 10 short from King James. What about King James? What will Faizan do? Faizan P3. These are very fine margins between P2 and then 15-8 by King James. An amazing lap time. Unless APD can do something about it, I think King James will be very, very happy with that pole. Pri, Faizan, Sleazy, Dark Knight, Aradhya, Vaibhav and Ritesh all gave it their best. All of them fell short just by a few hundredths to about 2/10 of a second. And that is it. That is what they're fighting for. This is what it means as we finish off qualifying in the first round of Season 13 with ABD in 9th and I'm sure he will not be disappointed with that position to begin with, as we see King James P1, and of course we should not forget Aradhya Gupta has a 5 place grid penalty, so he will be starting P11 in the race, and so that puts everyone behind him in a much better position. Some drivers, by the looks of it, could not get proper second or third runs in, maybe due to invalidations or just being impeded or whatever it may be. But yeah, that field gap. I mean, first, I think it is better Madhav, we discuss about the gap between King James and P2. Almost 5/10.
Yeah,
That is
that
a
is a
good
mega lap.
sector. Exactly. Oh, clouds. What
Could we see rain here?
a rain would throw everything into the spanner, because we should not forget, as we've mentioned time and time again, in the rain, it is all up to the driver. The car has no impact on it at all.
Uh, uh, so far we can't see the weather. Only the drivers can see the weather
course.
right now. So
They have some
they will be
suspension to
changing
think
their setups. Yeah. I mean, the setup changes they would have had to make in quali itself, right? If they
Exactly.
were preparing for a race in the rain.
Yep, with the park for my conditions, only things we can change is your front wing angles and your yes, pretty much that's it. Probably your tire pressures. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, I am getting confirmation now. Sorry for the interruption. I'm getting confirmation now that it will be cloudy. No rain expected for the race, but it will be cloudy.
It will be cloudy, so unfortunately we're not gonna get any rain, not gonna get any chaos, but it's okay, we can still hope for a exciting
the weather
race.
prediction is good enough, but the chance is never zero. So let's go for a late twist.
Yeah.
Could be maybe a few drops towards the end. They could throw people off.
We're on with the formation lap. Time for drivers to warm up their tires, and time for us to see what tires they're starting and what kind of strategy they're going to.
Okay, so Sleazy is the only one in the top 5 to be going with the hards. Ritesh has also chosen the hards, as has Natsu, as has Kingmaker. So both the McLarens are deciding to go on this similar strategy of starting off with hards, and how they progress later on we will see. Vicious, Kapil, Sandeep and Me Dude Origin, all of them are on the hards. Zinx in P20 is on the mediums, and majority of the grid is on the mediums, and so it could be that the medium hard is the ideal strategy. It could also be that the hards might actually play out over here. Of course, we shouldn't forget, because it is cloudy to begin with, the temperatures will be lower, and so the hard runners will have to do a lot of work to put heat into those tires, as opposed to the medium runners. But in the long run, it could play out very well for those hard runners, and so right now, to predict anything would be a mistake, is what I'd like to say.
James is
there we
rushing
go.
the formation lap. He's already on to the main straight, about a huge gap behind. So this may or may not be impacting on his start.
This could be potentially impactful, because we can see the final corner on the grid. Zinx has he's just getting into the double right handers, and so it is going to be a good while before the grid is properly lined up, and so just sat there on the grid. King James tires will be cooling down, and so he will be hoping that maybe that they line up quicker and quicker. Maybe not, maybe they will, but yeah, I mean, just a few cars have come up to the grid, so King James maybe shouldn't have rushed through that formation, and maybe should have taken it very slowly. Anyways, the point is, every car is on the main straight now. At least we can see Zinx's car coming up onto the grid. King James would have definitely lost a little bit of tire temperature over there as Nitro misses his parking position. I am not surprised. And as we wait for the 5 red lights, 5 red lights. And away we go for season 13, round 1 at Melbourne. King James not to a good start. Pri has an amazing start, moves up into P1, fires on into P2. Sleazy there in P3, and that is Apex, who's had an incident as they get off of the grid. Vaibhav Khan up into P5. King James is dropped out to P6 and is having to fight with Dark Knight here to keep in that P6 position as he's almost lost it there. And Dark Knight round the outside, trying to make move, could not make it, and has to stay back just for now. A very chaotic start. Natsu losing a position to Aradhya Gupta, who's moved up. That is Fury losing a wing after having contact with the wall off on the left-hand side. So far, pretty decent. No safety cars by the looks of it. The Williams of Sandeep Maridu on the rear end of Natsu now, pulling down the outside, now down the inside. Makes the move done. Gets past him, and he is very happy with that position. Faizan using up a lot of his battery, almost halfway through his battery already to try and keep up with Pri. Pri has his flashing lights on, so clearly he's recharging his battery, and so clearly these guys have absolutely dumped their batteries to try and capitalize on mistake of King James over here, who has managed to cover up in P4, but now is a good distance away from that P1 position, and so now this is the prime time for Pri, Faizan, Sneezy to get away as we come here to round off the first lap of the 29 laps that we have coming up in this race. That was a very chaotic start, but also a fairly clean one.
Not sure what happened in King James. It's almost like the license go out for him or whatever. There was like such a slow reaction. He didn't get off the line and he got beaten up. But still fairly good enough. He just lost like 3 positions in P4. And we see that after going on straight and a lot of things happening at the track.
That is Ritesh, who has spun off, and APD, who was doing his own gymnastics at the exit of that corner, and that caused a momentary yellow flag. No damage to anyone, though. Of course, they continue as is Fury. Then there's a little bit of a tussle going on behind Fury between Ritesh and Natsu, and Ritesh trying his best to get past. Dark Knight gets past Vaibhav up ahead, and this is Sandeep Maridu who makes a move on ABD with the DRS. DRS very, very strong, very, very powerful. And as you can see, ABD left with absolutely nothing, cannot defend himself. Maybe if Fury is very, very brave, he will send it. Gets throws in the braking zone, does not send it. Yellow flags, that is a spun of Stinks. So he has not had a very good start to his season, to his race so far. But of course, plenty of laps to go, plenty of chances to recover.
Move on the final corner up to getting pounded by Ritesh, who's sending him on the inside, and there's some contact, some argy-bargy, they went side by side, and somehow both make through, and Ritesh gets the move done. It was quite feisty from both of them.
None of them willing to give up their position at all. That at this point, just 3 laps into the season, we have ego battles that are taking place already. Of course, what is a racing driver without a massive ego? Does not equate at all. Aradhya Gupta, of course, breaking the cherry of penalties as well. 3-second time penalty right to begin with, conveniently on the 3rd lap. And so, yeah, that is something we should keep an eye out on, because plenty of drivers will be picking up plenty of penalties. And this Kapil is picking up P12 from Natsu using the DRS, flies past him. And Kenny getting very close to Ritesh. Not close enough. No, will have the DRS on this straight as well, but of course, so now he can just conserve his battery. Watch on ahead. King James, what has happened to him? Ritesh is locked up. King James has spun off. He has spun off. Does he have damage? We do not know. If there was an incident, Aradhya Gupta getting past Sleazy to move up into P3 up ahead, as we see a very chaotic battle over King James down into P13. A disastrous start to the race for him.
Yeah, it's all gone downhill for him from pole to now P14. I think he has picked up some damage. Has he pitted? Yeah, I think he's pitting. No, he's not. He's stayed out. Okay, so he seems to be continuing on. Doesn't look like he has any damage, but he has? Oh, okay, he has. Yeah, my bad. So he did have damage, and it has all gone into the bin for him. He has pole dominated by almost half a second from P2, and now he's all the way in P18. Let's hope he can come back from there. But as we see,
He's getting mugged here. He just got 2 positions.
yeah,
Not so sleazy after all.
this Dark Knight, Aradhya, and Sleazy. They seem to be in a battle. Aradhya seems to be pulling away from that group. But okay. They're on board Natsu right now, chasing Kapil. I believe Kapil made a move on him a lap or two ago. And
Yeah.
Kapil seems to be getting closer and closer to the gearbox of Ritesh. While he is fighting with Fury up ahead. And we see ABD making... Oh, sorry, not ABD. Who is that? I seem to have lost the car.
No worries. That is Fury, ABD, and Web of Khanna over there. Ritesh does have a very, very clean liking to the rear ends of people ahead of him as he taps Fury in the back, tries to make a move on him clearly. Fury does not give any consent to that pass. We have Kapil Ace, who's trying to get involved in this action and try to turn it into something bigger than it realistically should be. And Natsu then 3 seconds. Ritesh has DRS, Kapil has DRS, both of them dumping their batteries. Does Ritesh have any? Ritesh does have DRS. Sorry, apologies, Fury. Fury has DRS, that's why he's able to keep his position.
Oh
And
my.
that is a tussle and a half. Fury pushing Ritesh off of the track. Now Kapil going for it round the outside, gets the move done. Natsu getting involved in this action. 3 right into this corner. Somehow they all make it without any contact, without any damage, and that's Natsu ghosting through Ritesh, and the game was like, nope, enough of this. Let us step in and calm this down. And that was an amazing move by Kapil, moving up into P9. Fury retains P10 and Ritesh behind him. Natsu almost got past Fury and Ritesh just in that one corner, but clearly none of them willing to take many risks. Just 6 laps into this race.
I was extremely chaotic, and Ritesh tried to make a move on one of the complicated corners in the circuit. Yeah, the fast left and right. You really don't go side by side there unless you have like good enough overlap, and Fury defending hard, just opening it up for Kapil, who just was rubbing his hand all that time, just saw the gap and went for it. So yeah, at the end of the day, these two guys lost position to Kapil, and they are just fighting again, back to square one.
Yeah, very opportunistic driving from Kapil there. So it still goes to show, even if you have a lot of pace on this game, it still shows the experience of these guys who have proven themselves within IRC. They are still... Oh, as a big lockup from, I believe, Fury, yeah. Yeah, as I was saying, these guys are quite clever with it. You know, they can find the smallest of spaces to dive down, and very opportunistic driving they can do. So that's exactly what Kapil has shown today, and he has got 2 places within 1 corner. And now he is looking to chase down ABD in the Sauber.
What you're saying, it's not just the pace, it's about the racecraft and the racing IQ, whatever you want to call it. It's all about where you want to position the car. Do you want to attack it? Do you want to defend? Do you want to just let them go? It's about the decisions that you make, not just how fast you move. So at the end of the day, it's those decisions that end up deciding your outcome.
Yeah, for example, staying back for a corner or 2 or a sector or 2 can be, you know, more beneficial for you than just going full attack everywhere. As you see someone ghosting through Vishal, Mohan ghosting through Vishal.
I think he just lost
Is he
some more
disconnected?
positions. He lost the position to Ritesh.
Yeah. I think Fury, he has wing damage. That's why he's dropping back quite a bit. I think his left end plate is gone.
Yeah,
Yeah, his
and
left
it's
end.
gone.
But he's starting to see all the penalties surging in. So these penalties could be the ultimate decider at the end of the race, because camps are not like too far. We do see some packs forming here and there, but overall it still seems to
Ooh,
be
that's a Red Bull
quite
off.
cluster.
That's Beetroot Origin of Sector 3. Green flags. Nothing much to worry about. Oh, that car's dirty now, so he has properly gone off. ABD, the first one to get 6 seconds worth of time penalties. And yeah, I mean, for someone with plenty of assists, clearly someone has forgot to turn the track limits to standard from strict as we have in our league. Oh, very close.
Oh no,
Beetroot
not
Origin.
again.
Oh, and
Contact
both
with
of them
Apex.
are out.
Apex spins. Beetroot Origin spins, and that is a report coming his way. He was missing the left end plate. That was the right one thrown through. And well,
Just to make it symmetric.
balance, I
That's
guess.
aerodynamic balancing right there.
Adrian Uihu.
Well, if he thought he could drive the car, well, now it's even worse. So I'm pretty sure he has to box and go for wing change, because there's no point going around with such a broken car, and there's a lot more to do. So yeah, it would be best for him to just go back to the pits, swap out things, the tires, and something going on.
Yeah, Deepak, can we just have a quick look at the position changes in this race that have occurred? We can see the biggest winners and losers over here. The biggest loser, of course, King James, down 15 positions. Starting from pole, now down into 16th after having to box and all of that stuff. Not been a good race for him so far. 20 more laps to go. Plenty of time for some yellow flags once again in sector 1. This we see over here. Aradhi Gupta on Faizan. Can Faizan keep that position? He's trying his hardest to defend the inside. He's still there, not willing to give up. Finest of margins, just an inch there perhaps. And Aradhya is ahead. Dark Knight looking at the opportunity and passes Faizan. Faizan, in a matter of just 2 corners, loses out on 2 positions from that commanding P2. He has dropped down all the way to P4. P2 to Origin, a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And so, not helping his race at all. Now he's in P20 and he will be far, far last. Aradhya Gupta has been let off into the free air. Has plenty of chances now to try and catch up to Pri. Controller versus controller, Red Bull versus Mercedes. We've seen this time and time again. We will be keeping an eye on that gap between Aradhya and Pri, that gap between Dark Knight and Aradhya, to see how that goes about. Sandeep Maridu, the biggest winner, of course, moving up 13 positions. Very, very commendable from him.
Even Kapil, 10 places is gained, so both the Williams are doing very good so far. Can we, do we know what is the pit window for like the mediums and hards? Do we know when they're going to pit?
Medium should be somewhere around lap 12, and the hards should be a good 15.
Okay, so is it it's the hard medium or medium hard is the default, right? Can you do a 2-stop here?
A 2-stop will not make sense.
Okay. So softs are apparently completely out of the question, right?
Softs in this game are actually disqualifying tires. And in this situation, last lap, safety car restart, that is essentially, they do not last in the race at all.
Okay.
They're basically very fragile. Like I said, it's a qualifying tire kind of. So then once you done the quality, you just switch it and move for medium hard or a hard medium, whichever, depending on your risk appetite.
That is quite disappointing actually. This soft should also be a tire that can go at least like 7-8 laps, you know. But yeah.
I mean, it can go 7-8 laps, just not with the ideal performance. Those will drop off after the first 3 laps. Dark Knight on Aradhya Gupta. Down the outside. Pretty easy move with the DRS up into P2. Now these guys switching positions. He's not going to have to wipe off Khanna, 3 seconds time penalty. So both the Mercedes drivers are currently on 3 seconds worth of time penalties here. We have a yellow flag in sector 1. Not sure where that's
That
been
was
cleared now.
Mohan
Yeah.
and Kingmaker.
Oh, Arajay Gupta lose with Faizan right behind him. Faizan almost took the opportunity of Aradi losing his rear right in front of Faizan, but Aradi has managed to keep it just yet, has the DRS, and yeah, that gap between P2, P3, P4, and 3 has increased by 2 seconds in the lap, and so clearly this fighting not helping them out.
And
Yeah,
Sandeep side
so
is
it
going
looks like
ever so larger in the mirrors of Faizan. He's going the gap quite a lot.
yeah, it does, and it seems like Sandeep will be looking for a move going into the next DRS soon. So let's stay tuned for that. And as I say that we're already in lap 12, so we should be seeing the medium runners with this lap or next lap. And as I say that Sandeep looks to be going for the move even before the DRS zone. And they both seem to have DRS from the cars ahead, but his that top speed is no match for Faizan. As Sandeep just goes around the outside and gets that move.
Looks like the tires crossover is already here. That he's slowly starting to fade away, and Sandeep's car's coming into a good prime situation right now. And yeah, he's closer up to these two cars up ahead as well, so he's definitely on a charge.
Yeah, like I said, they're all headed into the pits. But Pri seems to be doing an overcut. He has extended his medium. Hard drivers now the hard runners now putting the pressure on the medium drivers. So they are the tires are coming into the ideal window. So as you can see, the top 13, and out of top 13, 12 of them are on hard.
Oh, safety car.
Oh,
Ooh,
wonder what happened. Is that a Haas that's crashed out?
yeah, it looks like a Haas on sector 3.
That is a Haas in sector 3. I think that's Apex. That is the Haas of
I think
Apex.
he's
that
got to
has
moving
gone
again.
off.
Yeah, don't have any DRS.
Yeah, luckily no. Oh, that front.
He has
wing
no
gone.
wing.
I guess he did watch the F1 movie, but he doesn't know. Wait, okay. That's quite a little
Is it a safety car? It just shows caution.
Is this correct? Is Vicious in P1?
Nope.
No.
Okay, that was a
That's
glitch.
the
I was taken aback for a second. I will be very honest. I mean, yeah, this is a blessing in disguise for free.
Oh, there's some pit lane action
pit
going
battle
on.
soon. That Ferrari has overtaken the Alpine, whoever that is.
They forgot the pit line is not for at least 100 meters more. Reminds me of that China 2016 where Vettel overtook 2 cars in the pit entry.
Yeah, but except that Ferrari stayed back even after overtaking for a wing change, so it did all of that for nothing. I
Hey
think
man,
that is
it's
the
time
Ferrari
gain, it's
of
time gain.
Nitro. I think that's the Ferrari of Nitro. It's so
Some
Well,
racing
you
going
could
on
say
with
he
the
tried,
safety car. Are you allowed to overtake the
No,
safety car?
no.
I mean,
No, so safety car has picked up the car, which means that they need to stay until they are clear to go. So, yeah, they have to stick behind the safety car now.
so currently it looks like a Red Bull 1-2.
Oh!
It isn't. Oh no! He's just done a wing change.
Overtook an Alpine in the pits. No effect for changing the wing. Has multiple penalties now at drive-thru as well. Nitro's race and the beginning of Nitro's season could not be any worse than this.
Well, the race is still not over, so let's see what he can recover from this position, because again, anything can happen.
I honestly don't know what goes on in, like, why do they do this under safety car? Is it so hard to just drive slow?
Hey man. Some people
Did it
like
get it for
competing with
overtaking or speeding under safety car?
speeding
It was
under
speeding
the
under
safety.
safety car.
Yeah, so it was not even for overtaking.
Well, some people
Well,
claim
right
you
now
do
it looks
not
like
know.
a Red Bull 1-2, but it's not. It's
Yes.
Pre in P1 and Mid-Wood
So
Origin
it's
in
P19
P19.
and P20 in between P1 and P2. So yeah, please.
It reminds anyone of a certain Abu Dhabi a couple of years ago, 5 years ago now.
Time flies.
I'm sorry, it does.
FIFA is very hard to be careful on the safety car gaps because it's like way too close for comfort. You don't want to have another penalty for causing a collision. That the penalties are ruthless. Safety car periods.
I mean, Pre currently doesn't have anything to worry about on the restart. Sandeep is, I think, 3 cars behind, so
Well, Pri has to
he
worry
can take
about
it
the
easy.
contact from the car behind because the contact from the car behind will end up giving him also a time penalty.
Oh, is it?
Hilarious because it is his. Who will be putting him in that position?
Yep. So while yes, he has 2 cars as a buffer behind, they're kind of very close to his tail, which is I wouldn't be very comfortable in that position.
There is no need to do this, guys. Come on, like it's a safety car. You're not going to gain anything by following the guy's, gearbox.
Hey man. 10 car lengths realistically means about 10 centimeters away from the gearbox.
Some cars are
And no
still
chest.
yet to catch up, so I guess the safety car will go on for one more lap.
Unless it has different opinions about that. Yeah, no, it will go on for one more lap. Although we have seen in the past where multiple cases where the safety car has decided just as it was getting around the final corner to enter the pits. And so that has created very chaotic restarts. Looks like such will not be the case just now since we are lacking about 3 drivers. So far, yeah, one more lap and the next lap we will have the safety car right back in and we will get back with the action with about 13 to 14 laps to go in this race.
Yep.
I think the safety car came out in like a period which worked out well for both the tire pumpers, I would say, because Sandeep on his hard tires, I mean, yes, I think Sandeep might struggle slightly towards the end, but considering the safety car is extending a little bit, I think it's for his benefit for the medium tires. So, no, I guess
Not
medium
really,
tires
if
had a
you-
very good ideal window comparatively, I would say.
Yeah, but if you think about the hard runners, they pretty much they got screwed, right? Like they cannot go on to hards again, and they have to. Will they make it last 14 laps? It's gonna be difficult. So
It's going to be a bit tricky, but considering the safety car is extending a little bit, and at the end of this lap, it will be 13 laps to the end. I think that should be, might be a little bit
it
touch and
should
go,
be
but it should be
doable,
doable.
but they
Yeah.
will struggle against the hard runners.
Yep, exactly.
I think 14 racing laps would be very difficult to pull off, considering how above 75% tire wear a puncher is near enough guaranteed. But considering how
There we
we've
go.
been
Safety car in this lap.
in this lap, of course. But yeah, as I was saying, considering how they have spent the whole of the time on the medium so far behind the safety car, I think they might be able to make it out. Considering, of course, that they do some nursing, but right now Sandeep has the advantage of using up his tires to just pounce on 3 pounds on Aradhya and create a big gap on the two of them. Just has to put in those consistent laps here after lap after lap, and then just hope for the best. 3 on the other hand will be hoping for a good restart over here. Of course, he has his teammate and Nitro between himself and Sandeep, so that will be a little bit of a help to him as he has restarted this race. Final lap, apologies, down the final corner. He went before the final corner and has had a very good restart. Sandeep getting past Nitro, still has plenty of gap to go. Lead Origin picking up a 3-second time penalty, and those are blue flags waving for Nitro to get out of the way, for Lead Origin to get out of the way. That is Natsu who is fighting it out with Couple Ace on this restart. Natsu around the outside, contact with Couple Ace, still there with his rear left, and decides to back off with the best. And now being attacked by Fury. Fury down the inside. Once again, contact. There's contact with the wall. Fanatsu loses his left wing. Pretty much all of it. And that is very, very bad damage. And a horrible restart. Something he was not for.
I think he was pretty much lucky with 2 cars hacking his buffer behind. Sandeep couldn't immediately bounce, and Pre has just checked out of here. He's 1.2 seconds clear, and he doesn't want to take any risk with providing the DRS to Sandeep. So Sandeep is on his own, and now Aradia is applying pressure. He's on the hard tires, so maybe not right now, but Aradia looks to be in a prime position at this point.
Certainly, but by the looks of it, Sandeep was conserving his battery throughout the final sector, so maybe he'll be using it up all over here to try and get into that 1 second of free. He's just a few tenths away, and he just needs that one little proper set of combos that are coming up to get within that 1 second. A little bit of the ARS comes as well, and he will pick the DRS, and as soon as that car is in the DRS, it is a very much set in stone move that will take place. A 10th and a half. That's
the second Red Bull of Injured Origin coming off.
Injured Origin. Okay. 16 seconds worth of time penalty on Injured Origin, by the way. And that mistake is not going to help him at all. The battle for last going really crazy right now between Nitro and Injured Origin at this very present moment. Couple A6 watching up ahead of him. Aradia Gupta with another 3 seconds. Very, very crucial 3 seconds that he's picked up over here. That will be damning for him. ABD with another 3 seconds on the restart. Very bad, and that is Kapil is sending it on the inside. A very brave move. He's sticking. He's still looking. His sights back off. He was there on the inside of Weber, but has managed to pull out just in time. Otherwise, both of them would have ended up in
we see a Sauber and an Alpine.
Sandeep Maridu within the second of three now. Now we will be watching that lap time. Fury with the broken front wing and plate, trying to defend off from ABD. What's gonna happen here? Fury picks up 3 seconds in his effort to defend from ABD, but that's no match to ABD's 9 seconds. And still manages to live to fight another day. King James is recovering up behind Webber, has put in a very, very odd position. That's not even on power where he's not. Luckily, no damage, nothing, so has a decent chance to recover. As we see Aradia Gupta looking at the rear end of Sandeep Maridu, who is flashing. And we also see Dark Knight on Sleazy over here around the outside with the DRS. Dark Knight now looking at a prime position to be on the podium after starting basically in the middle of the pack, and he has made his way fighting his battles up through the grid. Ooh, contact there between Aradia and Sandeep. Doesn't look like anything's spoken just yet, but if it continues like this, Bree might have a very, very good chance to run away, unless of course he keeps talking up like that.
Yep, the midfield melee is just getting bigger and bigger, and these guys are just scrapping over anything that they can. We just saw like so many position swaps in that sequence of few corners, so it's very hard to keep track of everything that's going on back.
Yeah, there is overtakes going on all the way around the track. Faizan has just made a move on Dark Knight around the outside of that corner. That is a brilliant move.
Indeed, I'm not sure what happened. Was it a mistake, or was that like Faizan like pressure getting a move? Not sure, but yeah, Faizan is in P4 and Dark Knight is in P5. So
can we go on board Aradia? Yeah, he's chasing down Sandeep, but he's not getting it. I think Sandeep is playing smart with the DRS and the ERS.
Sandeep is on the edge of his result. He's like almost close. He is also in, I would say, very good but fairly decent. So yeah, Sandeep is under a lot of pressure right now.
Yeah, Sandeep just needs to, use the DRS from 3 and try to stay ahead. Well, he can try and overtake also if he had the battery to do it, but at this point it doesn't seem like it. And we have round 2 of Faizan versus Dark Knight. Faizan goes defensive way to the inside. and then comes back in front of Dark Knight to block him. That, I don't know what that was, but okay.
String of complaints expected from Dark Knight in that clip that he will be posting the reports channel just after this race. APD not helping himself with the warning in any case at all. I think he's looking for the
Kapil
most
also gets a
penalties.
3 seconds.
No! Not Kapil.
Looks like Ducky has made the move back again, and he has moved up to P4 once again. And yeah, clearly that straight line and battery usage is coming in clutch for these guys. We have
Then
Sandeep
Sandeep
up in
Atrasthi.
P2 as well. Adi has moved up to P2, has overtaken Sandeep Panidu.
Yeah, I think Sandeep is now recharging his battery. He has used everything, and yeah, he has gained a bit of battery, and he will be trying to use that back on Aradhya, but can he stay within the DRS?
He was in a prime position with a fresh set of mediums making move. Natural DNF. This could be crucial. Safety car, virtual. Not an actual proper full on virtual safety car. This was
Where did
looking
he
done.
retire? Oh,
Just
he
over
went
here.
straight
and
into the
take
wall.
this. Yeah.
But
He do
another
origin.
change speeding penalty. Not helping the cases today.
He went into serve one. He's picked up another.
Look at the stark difference between the two Red Bulls.
I mean, that is lower accurate Red Bull, you could say. One
Yeah.
driver all the way up front and one driver is struggling to cope. But I hope it's just a blip, and I hope the second Red Bull of Meteor Origin can do much better performances, because it seems like a very clumsy race this time around. Hopefully,
Wait, how did it change? It showed he had a 26-second and now it's gone to a
He
16-second.
served the 10-second that he had earlier,
Ah, okay.
but he still has the other 10 seconds. He's picked up.
Simply correct me if I'm wrong, you can't serve penalties under VSC, is it, or can you? Oh my god, another 10
And he's
seconds.
got it back again.
I'm sorry, but Sniper's still going on with the drive-thru.
Oh, we are green, so yep, we are back. So let's get the action on track, and Ritesh makes a very sneaky move. Fury got napping on the restart. I mean, to be honest, we were not aware when the restart was happening, but Ritesh looks have pounced on it, and Fury had lost the position straight away.
As Fury would put it, "Ore dude, so yeah, man." But the bottom three all have drive-thrus coming. This is an amazing sight to see.
He's 1 minute 25 seconds behind the car in P17. Okay, I don't know if that is correct or not, but okay. Let's just focus on the race.
Composure, yeah. ABD with 9 seconds in P11 behind Fury. Fury, who's behind Ritesh. Ritesh and Fury both have 3 seconds, so this is a proper tussle for that position. I mean,
Aradhya is within a second of
Oh, that's a
Three, as we see
late time
Faizan.
from Faizan on Dark Knight. Dark Knight may not be so happy about it, but well, he did fix the move. But yeah, that was so super late and super aggressive.
It was a late move, but it was a clean move.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
fine.
But yeah, I mean, whatever said into Dark Knight is going to be fuming inside there. I do not want to be in a VC with him right now, because he is not going to be a happy man.
yep, so clearly a lot of penalties coming Faizan's way by the looks of it, and I'm sorry, but I just can't.
Oh, we have a
And
lead
Aradhya has-
Losing a position to Aradhya Gupta. Aradhya round the outside, down the inside, loser on the exit, and just about makes the move down on 3-3. Almost caught napping. Not in a good position. This is on track positions that they are fighting, but he'll still be good because Aradhya has 6 seconds. But of course, if Sandeep does catch him, if Sandeep does pounce on this, he can get ahead of the two of them, and he can be flying away. Aradhya around the outside with the DRS, pretty left helpless, just lying over there, having to accept his fate.
as Radya moves up into P1. I doubt he'll be able to put a 6-second gap, but who knows? Maybe he's got it in him.
Usually he's out of battery in P, sitting on a decent reserve of 50%. So yeah, he could lose a position almost immediately.
He has DRS from the blue flag car up ahead though. That might help him a bit.
If you are updated
Yeah,
correctly,
he
he
does
does have DRS from the blue flag car, so that does give him a bit of a helping hand and just helps him a little bit to stay up ahead without being slaughtered after that.
Yeah, but staying ahead is not going to be enough for him. He needs to pull a 6-second gap in what is this? 4 laps.
Yep. I did not even look
I
at the lap
don't think
counter.
it's
The laps
possible.
have been going by past us, and like I said, just 4 laps to the end. So, well, I mean, it might not be for the actual racing, but still, that was a pretty intense move and a very fantastic move put off by Aradhya there.
Yep, he's just under a second ahead. While Free is dumping his ERS, desperately trying to get it back. Does he know the penalty? I think he might be knowing, right?
I mean, at the end of the day, you do want to win it on track, right? It's all about bragging rights at this point. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they're trying to go for it and put on a show.
I mean, well, even with penalties, these are the 3-second penalties, right, for track limits.
Ooh, there's
Oh.
an interesting sequence coming up ahead. We see 2 RBs fighting through with ABD, who's getting hustled outside, and he's still not letting go of this. DRS flaps wide open, and he's looking to make another attack, but he's gonna have to settle down for now.
Yeah, he gets a switch back into the next right-hander, but no, he decided to stick back.
Now, all these cars up ahead, all the way from P12 to P8, I don't even want to get into the mental gymnastics for that, because there's like so many penalties and so many position changes going to happen. But talking about position change, we have one position change on track. ABT gets the move on Ritesh and picks up
And
for
he
3
gets a 3
seconds on the go. So yeah, not much.
It doesn't matter what he does, he's going to lose. Well, they all have the 3 seconds, so it's just down to the track position. Except ABD, of course. Sleazy right now on the back of King James. And Pri has made the move back.
Yeah. In the meanwhile, Sandeep's mediums have clearly fallen off. All he can hope for is to keep within that 6 second for Raji to try and at least nab away that P2 and get a decent start to the season as opposed to finishing P3. Although he is losing time, a lot of time, honestly, at this moment. Okay, man. Lead road origin on 39 seconds of
If you count the previous 10 seconds that he served,
49 seconds. Oh my days. Okay. Yeah.
this has to be a record of some kind, right?
I think at 60 seconds, even the game disqualifies you. So I am willing to see how far this goes.
Come on, man, you have 2 laps to break the record.
Go on then, me dude. Anyways, we have Faizan with a 3 time penalty. Even if
We
he
have
does not
Mohan,
get-
which is 2 tenths behind ABD right now. Is maybe looking for him.
King James trying to ease up Sleazy, but is he falling short?
Right on his tail, going into the DRS soon.
Yellow flags in sector 3. Who is that? That's multiple cars involved.
What is going on here? King James desperately trying to get that move on Sleazy, but he's just not able to do it, even with DRS. And can we get a look at his battery percentage? Yeah, he has 80% battery, but he's just not able to do it.
Looks like ERS Gump Merchant has returned Just in qualifying though, nothing in the race. As again, a sniff around the outside, a look down the inside, but has to still stay on the outside in order to go in just yet. King James struggling to get past Leezy, as that has given an amazing opportunity for Kapiles to catch up and try and nab away that 7 from King James at the very minimum.
Yep, and he's finally getting the good run through there.
Okay.
He cannot defend through here, the TRS and ERS and everything. He just blasts past and gets the P6 away from the Ferrari.
We are at 42 seconds on B-Dude Origin. I just want to point that out. That is, I think, a very, very crucial statistic to be provided here. As Nitro is also going to make a move on it very shortly. So, how far last will he be? That is something we'll have to look out for as we start the final lap. Sandeep Maridu hoping to hang on within that second in this final lap, but a very, very good race right off the start for Pri. Has managed it quite well. As we see Mohan on the back, we see Faizan just about with the 7th, and he will be getting tested yellow flag into the 3rd sector once again for the Red Bull. I'm guessing that's not Pri, because that's not Pri. Pri is giving it his all in this very final lap as he is just about to round off the 2nd sector. We see Kapiles, who has gone past.
Oh my god, that is a big crash.
Kapiles has taken this 10-6 penalty. Game itself has rightfully awarded him a massive listing, and Kapil, who had recovered so well despite DNFing in the qualifying, has unfortunately lost it all. And who has it all, Lee coming off into the fucking corner, has absolutely been dominant in this race. Had a very mild tuffle with Arade Gupta, but of course is no effect because Arade is on 6 seconds. Coming across the line to win the first race of the season 13 and putting himself already on the top step. Sandeep Maridu will be finishing up P2 after the penalties. Arade Gupta in a respectable P3, dark right up into P4. Sandeep, Faizan in irony in P5, King James in P6 after being on pole. And B-Dude Origin picked up another 10-second time penalty as he was finishing the race. And so this has been something for B-Dude Origin. And that is Kapiles, despite the incident in P8 with Fury in P7. So at the end of it all, even after the incident, all he did was lose 1 position. Sleazy has a 10-second time penalty. Vaibhav has 9 seconds. But I'm pretty sure that is a very clear-cut penalty that will be coming in. That is the first race of season 13 here in Melbourne, Australia. Rounded up with Web of Khanna in P13. Was looking in a very, very good position earlier in qualifying, but unfortunately has not had the best of races. But the season is long. We have 9 more races left as we see Pri the Pro on top of this podium, and I'm sure he will be very, very happy with what is going on. I am getting news that B-Dude Origin at the end had about 62 seconds worth of penalties. I'm not sure how that's possible. He has actually broken the record because the game disqualified you at 60. He's gone past 60. That is amazing. We see Pri in P1, Sandeep in P2, and Arade Gupta in P3. Dark Knight has recovered really well up into P4, Faizan in P5, King James in P6. Not the best start to the season for him. Fury in P7, Kapiles in P8. And Sleazy in P9. I believe we will get to the rest of the grid here. But yeah,
I would just like to point out, we had so many incidents in the race that as Deepak is scrolling down, the scroll bar went out of the screen.
That is something. Yeah, that was one hell of a start to the first race of season 13.
It is a banger of a race, yeah.
Exactly. With only 1 DNF, to be fair,
not the worst of races. 62 seconds worth of penalties, though. It is beyond me how that's possible. That is actually beyond even the code of the game. The game's just allowed it because it was the last lap. So, yeah, that is. Honestly, I am speechless, and uh, I think we might be having our drivers here for the podium celebration here in just
Did
a
Sandeep get
second.
the P2 though?
Sandeep did get P2, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We're just waiting for. We have Sandeep, the P2 man over here. We're just waiting for Pri and Aradhya to join, and we'll get started shortly. Um, can you drag them in? I cannot see the.
They haven't joined anything, but yeah, Madhav, if you were to sum up in the meanwhile the whole race, how would you put it down?
In one word, it was complete. It was chaos. It, it, we have overtakes going on towards the top of the field, as well as 3, 4, even 5 car battles going on in the midfield. It was really very entertaining to watch. Yeah, but we have Pri, Aradhya, and Sandeep over here, so we can get started. Simply.
Yep, we will get started with our P3 finisher, Aradhya Gupta. Aradhya, a very solid qualifying from you, as certainly the strategy was well thought out as well, but the 6 seconds did not help you in the slightest. Talk us through your race. What happened?
Yeah, I mean, quali wasn't really that good. I don't know from where. I mean, started P6, then qualified P6, but had an incident with ABD, which gave me 5 second, five grid place pen in quali itself only. So yeah, had to drop down to P11, and then yeah, I mean, after that, to be honest, this race wasn't really that good. As soon as I made the pit stop, the safety car came out, which was really unfortunate for me, and yeah, as you were talking about pens, I had to be, very aggressive to make the moves, get past, get to the quick as quick as possible, which did result in 6 second pen, which clearly did not help my case. But yeah, after the safety car, I just pushed as hard as I can, tried to make moves on Pri and Sandeep. They both really gave me a good fight for and run for the money. Especially Sandeep, I have no idea how he managed to make those mediums last 14, 15 laps, as mine were like at 78% after 11 laps only. So really kudos to him, really well job, and he had a decent pace as well throughout. And yeah, except that with Pri also, I mean, he was super consistent always, super respectful, and played it by the book. So yeah, just but unfortunate race, but still could not be disappointed with the podium to start the season.
Of course, a podium is a great place to start the season off. That is undeniable. Well, a pretty long season ahead of you, Aradhya. Best of luck to you in the upcoming races. Perhaps, hopefully, we'll get to see you more up on this podium.
Hopefully,
Of course, hopefully.
I mean,
moving on, to,
yeah, continue.
moving on to our P2 finisher, Sandeep Maridu, who had a very, very bold strategy. Sandeep, hards to then mediums. The safety car came out at essentially a very, very good window for you, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, with respect to the strategy, I wouldn't say it's poor. I mean, we couldn't anticipate when the safety car could come out, right? Because I had a disastrous quali, not because of my own fault. I got taken out. So I was P18, and I know that hearts are excellent from the social race which we did, and my strategy, my thinking was just go as far as I can, watch the delta and lap times from the guys behind. I mean, my own lap times and the delta from the guys behind, and maybe even pull out a soft stint at the end, because I know that I can stretch the tires out for some few extra laps. But it worked out. The safety car worked out in a way which helped me with the track position. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I couldn't probably have achieved P2, maybe P3 without the safety car, but P2 was not on the cards, I believe. But yeah, that helped. But again, I had to go on to the mediums. The mediums are not half good as hards, I would say. That's the difference between those two compounds. And initially they were fine, but I knew at one point it was gone. I will definitely get overtaken, which happened. And I saw the penalty of Aradhya. I just tried my best to stay with him. Luckily, I was just 1 second minus of that delta, which had me P2. But good fun race overall. A lot of overtakes coming from the back, and good clean racing with Aradhya and other folks as well. Just enjoyed that.
Certainly, it was a very, very good race from you. Some very clean overtakes that we've caught on the stream as well. So I'm sure you'll be very satisfied with your performance. Of course, once again, multiple races still remaining. This is just the beginning of the season. And so I'm sure you will be looking forward to these podiums and perhaps even picking up a win at some point in the season.
I hope so. Thank you.
Yep, of course. And of course, how can we forget our P1, position 1, winner, the pro, clearly showing his proness after a good patch of noobness, as he would say himself. Back up on the top step, Pri. How was it feeling? How do you feel essentially? I mean, you were in P2 to begin the race, and then, of course, King James with not a very good start, and you've just been properly up there in that P1, and you've only really lost that position twice throughout the race.
Yeah, I think honestly, the race was really, really good. Pace was really nice. It didn't start off very well. I got disconnected in qualifying, so I basically missed out the first, or I think almost 12 minutes of it. So then I did 2 laps on one set of tires. So I fueled myself up for 2 flying laps, and I don't know. I guess no one really. I guess a few people didn't really have a good clean lap. Like I think Aradhya also messed up his quali lap, so that helped me. Um, he also had his 5 place penalty, which also helped me in the race. But yeah, somehow I started second and then off the line. I don't know what happened with King James, but he just didn't get off very well. So again, that helped me. And then from there on, the first stint it was just all about tire management. And my plan right from the beginning was to go to lap 13, because then I knew that I could push the hards all the way to the end. So I was managing all the way through, which is why like I was a bit under pressure from 5s and towards the start of the race, and yeah, then eventually I pulled away. I guess my tires were just better at that point than his were, and yeah, then it was just a matter of managing more and more. And I think it would have been quite nice if it wasn't for the safety car, but then that equalized the playing field, I'd say, because it removed my 5.5 second gap I had before Dark Knight and Aradhya bit behind me, and Sandeep was on fresh mediums, so that wasn't easy. So then after that, after the restart, I knew I had, I think, 2 lap cars in between, so I thought, let me use that. Like, instead of, otherwise I would normally like try and take the safety car restart all the way to the line. But
Right.
then, over there I was like, let's use this. So I pulled it, and obviously I think it was almost a 1 second gap between me and Sandeep, which helped me for basically the whole start of that second stint. It was just full push because I knew his tires were going to be really fast, but also going to drop off. And yeah, then after that, a little fight with Aradhya, that was also nice. But I think just my lower wings made it a lot easier. And yeah, very, very nice race.
Certainly a very, very good race and a strong start to your season. I'm sure you will be very happy with that. But of course, to avoid situations where you're having to fight with Aradhya in the future, I'm sure you'll be better off on a wheel. Link is in the description for Racers. We are affiliated with them. You will get a very good discount. Trust us. Very, very good products on there. And thank you so much for watching the round 1 of this season. It has been an amazing time presenting it to you. Of course, this would not be possible without the coordinators and, of course, our admins, moderators, and, of course, our streamer Deepak Raj, co-commentator Madhav or Shadar Club, whatever you want to call him. And of course, myself, Simply YT. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, spending time with us in this season opener. Hopefully, you will be back next week for Mexico, where things will take a very, very interesting turn, of course, with penalties in mind. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Stay hydrated, stay safe, and we will catch